Jinwoo's first solo venture into a secret dungeon proved successful, granting him newfound strength and a glimpse of his potential. But power does not pay the bills, and reality soon came knocking. Jinwoo stared at the bank statement, the numbers a stark reminder of his circumstances. The 800,000 won in his account was a fleeting comfort. After transferring 500,000 for rent, only 300,000 would remain to last the entire month. His mother's hospital bills and his sister's future tuition loomed large in his mind. The life insurance from a hunter's death was no longer an option. He had a reason to live, and now, a means to truly fight. Scouring the hunter forums for quick work, a posting caught his eye. Urgent! Hunters of any rank welcome. The pay was 2 million won for a single day's work, no share of the spoils required. It was a fortune to him. He made the call, and the leader, a man named Dong-suk Hwang, readily accepted him. "Just help us meet the quota," Dong-suk had said, his voice dripping with false warmth. Jinwoo knew he was being used as a placeholder, but he didn't care. He needed the money. The raid was on a C-rank gate located in an abandoned construction site. The squad, 8 hardened veterans, moved with a cohesion that spoke of years of shared experience. They were accompanied by another temp, a wealthy and naive young man named Jinho. The hunters regarded the two of them with barely concealed disdain, useful idiots for their enterprise. From the moment they stepped into the unnaturally dark and silent dungeon, Jinwoo's heightened perception tingled with danger. He was the one who spotted the insect ambush from above, his sharp warning saving the party from a bloody initiation. The squad's gratitude was tinged with a new wariness. The E-ranker had just proven himself unexpectedly useful. Their discovery of the boss's lair changed everything. The cavern was dominated not by the slumbering, house-sized spider, but by a glittering wall of mana stones worth hundreds of millions of won. Greed filled the air, thick and palpable. The plan was unveiled with clumsy theatrics. Dong-suk claimed they needed to retrieve mining tools, ordering Jinwoo and Jinho to stay behind and watch the sleeping beast. It was a transparent lie, a death sentence. As the squad retreated, Jinwoo saw the truth in their eyes. They were lizards, ready to cut their own tails to survive. He accepted their betrayal calmly. This was no longer a death sentence. It was a private training ground. Minutes later, the entrance exploded shut, plunging them into darkness with the stirring spider. As Jinho panicked, Jinwoo assessed his opponent. Its armor was too tough for blunt force, its acidic venom lethal. But to his eyes, its movements were sluggish. He activated Dash, and the world slowed around him. What followed was not a battle, but a systematic dismantling. He became a phantom, weaving through a forest of stabbing legs. His dagger, Kasaka's venom fang, found its mark again and again in the creature's eyes, the draining venom steadily sapping its life force. The spider's death throes were violent, but futile. When it finally lay still, the system's chimes were a sweet reward. He had grown stronger once more, but the true prize lay within. As Jinwoo examined the carcass, he noticed multiple glimmers deep within the spider's stomach. He carefully cut it open, and a cascade of half-digested insect carcasses spilled out. And within those carcasses, a fortune glittered. More than 10 essence stones, harvested from the magic beasts the spider had consumed. Some were small and partially dissolved, but most were intact. Along with the C-rank stone from the spider itself, it was enough to cover his family's expenses for a year. A wave of profound relief washed over him. He cleared the rubble from the entrance. The path to freedom was open. Jinho looked at him not with fear, but with awe, the word boss, a title spoken with newfound reverence. But as they stepped out from the boss chamber, they found their path blocked by the very hunters who had betrayed them. Dong-suk and his entire squad stood with weapons drawn, their friendly masks gone, replaced by cold, hard expressions. Their eyes flickered from the cleared entrance to Jinwoo, then to the dead spider behind him. Shock and fury warred on their faces. Dong-suk's gaze settled on Jinho, a new, calculating look in his eyes. "Change of plans," he announced. "We did some research. Your father is Myung-han Yu of Yujin Construction." He pointed his sword at Jinwoo. "Kill Jinwoo Sung. Become our accomplice, and you walk out of here alive. We'll even make it worth your while. If not, he gestured to his armed squad. We kill you both. Jinho stood frozen, his face pale. He looked at Jinwoo, then at the hunters surrounding them. His sword trembled in his hand. Dongsuk sneered. What's the matter? A D-ranker afraid of some E-rank trash? Don't tell me you've developed a conscience? Jinho's eyes darted between Jinwoo and the encircling hunters. The air grew thick with tension. Finally, with a deep breath, Jinho made his choice. He stepped forward, raising his sword, not at Jinwoo, but beside him, facing the traitors. You're all monsters, Jinho declared, his voice shaking but firm. Dongsuk's face twisted in fury. Fine. Gyuhuan, kill the E-ranker first. The mage, Gyuhuan, grinned. A blinding ball of light gathered in his palm and fired directly at Jinwoo. The explosion threw Jinwoo against the wall, burying him in rubble. Jinho screamed, Boss! Dongsuk and his squad advanced, their weapons aimed at the now terrified Jinho. They believed the threat was neutralized. But under the rubble, Jinwoo opened his eyes. His health had dropped significantly. And then, a new, glitching message burned in his vision. Urgent quest. Defeat the enemies. Defeat them all and ensure your safety. Fail and your heart will stop. Number of enemies to defeat, 8. A cold, focused calm settled over Jinwoo. The system wasn't asking, it was commanding. And for the first time, Jinwoo agreed completely with its goal. He pushed. Rocks and dust exploded outward as he rose from the debris. His clothes were torn, but his body thrummed with power. The squad stared in disbelief. Gyuhuan stammered, How? My spell hit him directly. Jinho's face transformed from despair to hope. Boss! Dongsuk's shock turned to rage. You just don't know when to die. Everyone, kill him! Jinwoo didn't wait. He activated dash and became a blur of motion. He moved through the hunters like a ghost, disarming and disabling them with precise, brutal efficiency. Bones cracked, swords clattered to the ground. In less than 10 seconds, the entire squad lay defeated. Jinwoo stood over Dongsuk, who clutched a shattered arm. You wanted what happens in the dungeon to stay in the dungeon, Jinwoo stated coldly. It will. Then he broke his neck. He turned to a stunned Jinho. Let's go. As they walked away, Jinho kept glancing back at the defeated hunters, then at Jinwoo with something between terror and worship. The weakest hunter was gone. A new power had arrived. The first battle against fellow hunters is won, but the consequences are just beginning. Jinwoo has embraced his role as the player, and a greater darkness begins to stir within him. What new challenges await? Find out next time.